Now, last night we brought you the story of a working Māngere family of 6, including a sick baby, who are all living in a one-bedroom private rental, while they desperately wait for a state house. Now, they are far from alone. There are more than 11,000 people or households on that waiting list for state or so-called public housing. Now, that list has doubled in size in the last 2 years. So what real hope do they have of getting across the threshold of a state house? The Ministry of Social Development is in charge of that enormous waiting list. Its Regional Commissioner, Mark Goldsmith, joins me now. Good evening, Mark. The demand there has doubled over the past 2 years. Why do you think that's the case?
Well, kia ora, Lisa, and thank you. Look, here in Auckland, we are facing quite a significant challenge within the housing market. What's causing that is, I think, quite a number of different factors. Our task is to really make sure that we are committed to helping New Zealanders and actually ensuring that we get them assistance as they need it.
So basically the system assesses people on the waiting list and the most needy go to the top of the queue. So just briefly, give us an overview. How do you rate people's need? What factors do you take into consideration?
Our system is actually a priority rated system, so it's really based on the individual circumstances. So we assess people against 5 main criteria. And so when we're sitting down and assessing this with the people, we're looking at getting into understanding their full circumstances, their affordability, adequacy, accessibility, sustainability and suitability. And again, the information that we put in our system around that generates that rating number and system.
Okay, so priority A, these are the people that need to get houses pretty quick smart. So of that waiting list, how many people waiting are so-called priority A?
Well, everyone's a priority. And it really just comes down to being able to find places that are suitable for the
But there are people, sorry to interrupt, but you know what I'm getting at here. There are people who are a higher priority than others. This is rationing in essence. So I just want to be open about this. So priority A, which are the top priority, how many people are in that category on the waiting list?
Look, I wouldn't have that number exactly with me now because our numbers change quite rapidly.
Okay.
Again, this is a circumstance-based system, so we're encouraging people to reach out to us and let us know as circumstances change.
Right.
And as those circumstances change, so do their ratings.
Okay, so according to your most recent report that I could see on your website, 81% of people are priority A on that waiting list. And the top priority number, I understand from your PR team, is A20. So what does that look like? A person who has an A20 rating, top of the list, are they living in a car? Do they have, I don't want to make light of this, do they have terrible health problems? What does that candidate look like?
Well, because it's due to individual circumstances, then it's quite possible that you will be looking at someone who is not able to afford accommodation, but also in addition to financial situations, will potentially also have health and other conditions present. So really it is quite complex, but to get to that A20, that is someone who's in real need.
So, again, your definition, MSD's definition of a priority A applicant is that they are at risk and have a severe and persistent housing need. What does at risk mean?
Well, they're at risk, people at risk without not having safe, warm and dry shelter. Again, that's our main priority, is to ensure that New Zealanders are in safe and warm and dry accommodation. So when you're at risk, you don't have that available to you at this point.
Right, and it goes on to say that must be addressed immediately. What's the Ministry's definition of immediately in terms of addressing it? What's your optimum time frame?
Look, we would love to be able to do this very, very quickly, but we're also subject to market conditions and availability. So especially here in Auckland, the market condition is absolutely tight right now.
So what's the average wait time then? Let's put it a different way. What's the average wait time?
I think, again, that can really change as well, depending on who we're talking to, Lisa. But generally, we try to do our very best and get people into accommodation that's suitable quickly.
Yeah. Understand that, but you have reporting requirements, and one of those is the mean and median wait time. So what is the average wait time?
So the average wait time, well, the mean at this stage is around about 107 days on average. But really, that can change quite dramatically, and it really comes down to individual circumstances, but also where people are wanting to live.
What's your
or do
target?
They actually have?
Yeah. So what's your target? If that's currently the midpoint, what are you hoping to achieve? What are you aiming for?
Look, I think it would be great if we can get people into warm, dry, safe accommodation as quickly as possible, as quickly as needed.
Do you have a number of days that you're aiming for, a target?
Not at this stage as a set target, but look, I think everyone would agree that, being able to get people in our country in a warm, safe, dry accommodation is a great thing for us to be able to do, and to be able to do as quickly as we can.
Okay, I just want to very quickly address those people who are called Priority B. So their rating puts them in the B category. Can you be as honest as possible with me? What realistic chance is there of anyone on that waiting list who is a B category applicant? What chance is there for them to get into a state house when you've got 11,000 people on that list?
Well, I wouldn't say it's impossible. It's definitely challenging in Auckland right now, that's being honest. But again, it comes down to circumstance. I mean, are we talking a 1, a 3 or a 5 bedroom situation? And again, location. So it's not uncommon for someone to be able to have those criteria line up and get an opportunity. So at the end of the day, we're committed to ensuring that everyone on the register is able to get into accommodation and to be able to have good shelter and that's safe, warm and dry.
I just want to quickly talk to you about the case that we highlighted yesterday. So this was a family, they have a child with meningitis. The DHB wrote a letter stating that the family's health and the health of this child was being compromised by the living conditions. How did MSD miss that letter, which was a critical part of their assessment? How did you not know about it?
Well, look, Lisa, we didn't get this right, and we are absolutely apologetic about this. We have apologised directly to the family, and they've been very gracious in accepting our apology. How this happened is really down to some human error. We did receive that letter. We just haven't acted on it as quickly as we should have, and that's something that we're really committed to getting to the bottom of and making sure we don't do that again.
Appreciate you joining us this evening. That is Mark Goldsmith, who's from the Ministry of Social Development. They're talking about their waiting list for state houses. Some 11,000 people are on it.